Welcome to your reading for the 2nd to the 8th of September. So I've been shuffling the cards, I've been contemplating the energies, and it's actually really interesting what's coming up and through at the moment. So what I'm about to say, the different points, obstacles, challenges, opportunities, this is all tapping into the current energy. So you might be like feeling yourself like amongst it at the moment. So lean in, listen up, and make sure to let me know what's resonating, what's landing, and what you're taking away from this reading. And then, as always, we're going to step into using a spread and helping you get some direction and a little bit more confidence in what's coming your way over the next couple of weeks. So as I look at the cards, I've already, well, not even pulled out because I've been jumping out like crazy. Every single deck I've been warming up and tuning into the energies to, throwing out cards. So that in and of itself is the first message for us all, is there is this energy of like, there are so many things that are whirling around in your mind at the moment. And there might be the kind of propensity to feel like you need to juggle everything at once, or you're spinning all of these plates, or if you stop something, pause something, let yourself have a break for a moment, everything's going to come crashing down. That is really in every single deck the energy that is wanting to be heard, that is wanting to be seen, that is wanting to be spoken. So beyond, do you resonate with that energy and do you feel that in your life? And maybe it's one area of your life, but I'm really getting the sense that it's multiple. Like you're feeling this in the area of your finances, you're feeling this in the area of your career, you're feeling this in the area of just your personal satisfaction, and maybe doing the chores at home and juggling all the things that come with life. It feels like there are so many little niggling things at the moment that if we don't address not just those things, but your energy and your relationship to them, they're going to continue to annoy you, but they're going to, in a bit of a, self-fulfilling prophecy kind of way, come to a head and come to a crash and come to this giant catastrophe. That isn't fear-mongering and that isn't saying you're going to have a catastrophe, but it is the acknowledgement. It is the spotlight. And that's kind of the point of these readings, is pointing out things so you can deal with them ahead of time or get prepared or like have a bit of a heads up. And that is what I'm seeing. There is conflict, there is tension, there is confusion, and amongst all of it, this huge drive that you have to do well and to do better and to go further. And yeah, this isn't the conditions in which that's going to happen. Being confused, being frustrated, juggling your entire life and hustling your freaking heart out is not the energy that is conducive to the peace and the ease and the grace and the magic and the wonder and the beautiful life that you love, that you're trying to create. That might have been the wake-up call you needed right here at the start. So I wanted to throw all of that energy at you. Let me know what came up, what came through. Is this resonating with you? Now, there are all different types of cards coming up and through, so I'm really going to allow myself to, start where I'm called, continue in that vein, and then go to the spread of the day. Gonna maybe just read it like a book. Start at the left. So we've got the Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. So this is from the Work Your Light Oracle. Now, with this card in particular, it's that acknowledgement not only that you are being divinely guided, but you get to tap into that divine guidance. And it does not matter how practiced you are at communing or how, spiritually articulate you think you may be. I know I held myself back for a very long time on using cards or trying to get direction and divine guidance because I thought I didn't know enough and I didn't have enough resources and I didn't have the like grounding behind me when it came to sort of this academic side of spirituality. And that literally just held me back from starting. You can have a spiritual divine communion moment, sign from the universe, a huge nudge in the right direction, a blaring sign saying go here, just simply from, taking a few moments to close your eyes and see what comes up. Pull a card, go for a walk. So you not only have access to divine guidance, but it's as simple as asking for it. Just ask. And sometimes that can be really challenging. We get caught up on what do I ask or how do I ask or second guessing the question or asking. You can ask as many questions as you want. The only little bit of guidance I would give you in, talking to your guides or getting, some outside, whatever that may be, inspiration or intuition, is just be open to receiving whatever comes up and through. And it doesn't mean you have to immediately act on it. And sometimes the biggest gift we can give ourselves, or the things we need to do when we get that guidance, is not pick it apart and put it into the box of our own limited understanding and experience. If you're asking for guidance outside of yourself, especially some kind of higher level, higher perspective, divine guidance, then it's probably not what you're expecting, and it's probably not what it easily comes to your mundane mind. So if you're feeling struggling in that area, that was great English, grab a notebook and pen, write down the messages you receive, the signs you receive, and even just put it aside. You don't have to dive into it, especially if there's resistance at the start. I really, really hope that you cannot hear the person, I don't know, using a saw or a grinder or like some kind of power tool. I'm going to keep going because it's the 27th of August and it's 7:27 a.m. Can't stop the reading now. So we're going to keep going. I hope you can't hear it. I think my mic's good enough. Let's keep going. All right. So yeah, big tip there. Let me know if you do that, if you work on noting down your signs and the things that you're receiving. Okay, we're going to go into the next little section. So this is the Rider-Waite Tarot, and we've got the Hermit, the Five of Wands, and the 10 of Pentacles. This is not only you looking inwards for these answers, but it's kind of like you're getting really caught up in the conflict on the how do you get to where you want to go. Like I said, this reading is a bit of a, lots of balls up in the air, kind of juggling energy. So we're like kind of shifting track pretty quickly in today's reading. So in regards to your contemplations, what you're reflecting on, how you're currently feeling in and of yourself, is like this a lot of conflict with, your vision, your mission, your where am I heading in life and things like that. And that in and of itself is part of why you feel like there's so many plates that are spinning and so many balls in the air and so many things that you're having to juggle and you can't take a break. This is the crux of it. So first of all, I see with the Hermit of like you've stayed in this inner contemplation energy for too long. It's always good to look inwards. It's always good to check in, and it's always good to know who you are, what you want, and how you want to get there. But you've taken it to this point where nothing is good enough, where you're not satisfied with any path, with any possibility. You're not even satisfied with the present because it's not where you want to be, or not where you thought you were going to be. And it tugged in all these different directions. So this conflict in your life at the moment, it is internally. If you really wrote down everything that is being juggled at the moment on paper, and I don't know, you prioritize them, you tackled them one by one, you would get it done. So objectively, what's going on isn't the straw that's going to break the camel's back, unless you tell the camel you can't take anymore and you keep beating it down and you're not watering it and you're not giving it a break. And of course, eventually it's going to collapse. But that isn't the way this needs to be. Taking out the conflict, taking out the picking yourself apart and carrying more weight and making it heavier and harder than it needs to be is going to be the gift where there's more of a direct line from, who am I, what do I want, and where do I want to go, and achieving it and receiving it. Probably in the worst way possible to explain this is, with manifestation, you step into the energy and the desire of what you want now. And then that thing that you want is attracted to you. And that can sound really fluffy and superficial and like BS if you're in this place of struggle and strife and, oh my God, how can I handle? Oh yeah, I'm just going to be delusional and whatever. That's not what this is talking about. It's around you get to choose how you're relating to your life. And just like with the person, you can pour out your anger and your frustration and your expectation and your resistance and your, unheal wounds onto that person and have a terrible relationship. Or you can take ownership and responsibility for how you're showing up, how you're tuning your internal compass and allowing that to direct and drive you. Different relationship. And it's the same thing with your goals. It's the same thing with your life. It's the same thing with whatever you're going through at the moment. This is a time, this is a week, this is a doorway, an opportunity, like we're at the start of September here, to really shift how you're being, who you're being. And that doesn't mean who you are is not good enough, but are you really being who you are? Are you really the fullness and the greatness and the magic of who you are, or the accumulation of your baggage and your bullshit and, the past and all the stuff that you've just been dragging along with you? So are you acting from the place of who you truly are, or have you been acting from the place of all the stuff that you've accumulated over your life? The good, the bad, the ugly, the blur. Think about it. All right. Next, we're coming to these two beautiful cards from the Find Your Purpose deck by Jess Sanders. The images on the front. We've got these glass jars. One is cracked, one is full, and one is overflowing and filling another one up. Now, the little quote on the back, when you say yes to others, make sure you aren't saying no to yourself. This is really important, and it really reflects what we've been speaking about here, is this clutter, confusion, and overwhelm, is how are you using your resources? How are you making sure that your cup is full before you go out and try and fill others? The biggest thing I'm really getting from this card and the next one, to find yourself, think for yourself, is to think for yourself, to claim yourself, to craft your identity that is your greatest self, and not that accumulation of expectation and people pleasing and what I should do. And because even though this card, beautiful colors, it's not a very beautiful energy. It feels exhausting. It feels stuck and stagnant. And this is what we can get ourselves into when we're focused on the juggling life rather than the directing and the manifesting and the loving and the creating of life. This is someone who is in the creation of their life, led by, yes, their head because it tells them the how, but their heart and their soul and their intuition and this divine light and spark. This is the energy that is available to you. Even though this, in it, we can see this cup being filled and it's filling other people. That's a beautiful sentiment. And that is a piece of the puzzle. But this is still putting us in this sort of binary position of like, you look after yourself first so you can look after others, or you're not looking after anyone really. And it's like this contradictory push and pull, one or the other, good or bad, like moral conversation. I'm like, let's stop having that conversation of, you can look after yourself or you can look after your family. You can look after your life, you can look after your health. You can pay your bills, or you can follow your passion. It's not binary. It's not one or the other. It's not this or that. That is part of your conflict. Trying to do the right thing, trying to be the best person, trying to fix blah, 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 and make everyone happy. And it always comes at the expense of yourself, doesn't it? So this card is like, when you shine, when you blaze, when you are being truly you, not baggage you, that is when the magic happens. This person, they see all those plates you're juggling, they're like, I'm going to stack those plates and carry them easily. Why are we juggling? Why are we spinning? Those balls, we're going to put them in a box. We're going to carry them. And if we want to play with them, cool. But we don't have to juggle them unless we're really good at juggling and it's fun. But this person defines, decides, and goes and creates the life that they desire. This gets to be you. Ooh. All right. And then we've got 3 other cards, just adding a little bit more detail and juice to this conversation. The 7 of Cups in reverse and the Page of Cups. Either both of these cups came out last time, in which case, if you're resonating with these, go and check out last week's reading. Maybe it's just from a personal reading I did, but they seem to be screaming and standing out. This is just the getting away from the people pleasing. This is that filling that cup conversation. And the Queen of Pentacles came out with them, but she was separate. She was to the side. So this is again that binary. If it's like it's everyone or it's me. I can fill everyone else's cup or I can fill my own. It's not this conversation. The Queen of Pentacles, this card. Shining, in charge, but not being controlling or controlled by her circumstances. I am like absolutely loving this reading, loving these cards. I feel like today is like this like rapid fire of like, is this landing? Is this resonating? Let's own it. Let's acknowledge it. Let's move through it. Let's get you to where you want to be. We don't have time to wait on creating the life we love. We need to start now. We need to start now. And if you want support on that, come join my free Facebook group. It is where you can get support. It is where you can get coaching. It's where you can get live tarot readings. It's where I help you create the life you love now. Or of course, you can book a tarot reading or become a coaching client. All right, we're going to do a 3-card spread because this is what I was really focused on. When I saw these energies coming through, I was like, what is going to be the most simple, powerful spread that we can pull for you? And it is the spread called Break Through Your Blocks, because this is a block. The conflict is a block. The questioning is a block. The binary, I have this or that choice, is a block. So how can we help you break through that block? So you're this. You're this. You're shining bright. You're Queen of Pentacles. You're on purpose. You're on path. And you're powerful AF. This is a very simple spread. 3 cards. What am I being called to do? What are you being called to do? Okay. 2 cards came out for that one. That's all right. What is blocking me from acting? That is interesting. And what actions can I take to release this block? All right. And now they're using a hammer. That's all right. You'd think 7 a.m. would not be the time for construction. Oh my God, there are so many cards on what actions can you take. So look forward to that. What am I being called to do? We have the 9 of Pentacles. We have the 9 of Cups. What you're being called to do is get prepared. Like I was saying before, stack the plates, put the balls in a box, sort out what you're juggling into a way that it's manageable, with it's in your capacity and that you're actually in charge of it and it's not in charge of you. So sort yourself out, get prepared, get ready, you know, whatever that means to you. For me, that often means I need to declutter, organize, clean and cleanse whatever space I'm working in, because the energy's gotten out of hand. And then in that space, I find structure. And then in that structure, I find direction. And then in that direction, I find I can actually figure things out and get stuff done. So how do you need to prepare? The 9 of Cups in the area of like, what am I being called to do, is acknowledge what you can do and what you can't do. Celebrate what you have achieved, and also use that energy and use that self-celebration to go, if you see like this energy is very similar, like build yourself up, prepare yourself, build yourself up. And in this combination of preparedness and self-celebration, and I've got this, and like good affirmative talk and inner work, go out and make some changes. One change at a time, one step at a time. You can do this. What is blocking me from acting? So I just told you, get ready, get prepared, get tapped into your power, go out and do the thing. What's blocking you? It is the 7 of Wands. It is this, the world is against me. I have to do it all alone. And even though this person isn't juggling, they're kind of like, I'm already carrying the burden of my stick and my life. How am I meant to get through all of these? Or, you know, appease everyone while I'm trying to sort out my own stuff. This is the block. It's that binary, black and white, me against them, the world against me kind of energy and mentality. Shifting this perspective, not only, you know, doing the mental work, the inner work to shift this perspective, but in the physical, in the tangible, going, rather than me against everyone else, how can we all work together? How can I get people on my team? How can I get the support that I need rather than seeing everything and everyone as competition or distraction? That is the block. All right. And what actions can I take to release this block? It's going to be different for everyone. One of these might resonate. A few of these might resonate. Maybe all of these will resonate. Let's see. So we've got, yeah, some of these are in reverse. We've got the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. So what actions can you take is take some tasks off your to-do list. Take some things off your plate. Take some pauses on some of the tasks and the projects that you're working on. Sometimes we've actually just put too much on our plate and we don't have the capacity to complete what we need to do. On that note, I have a resource that I shared with my clients in the past, and it's all around helping you assess your capacity. It's called the capacity check. And it is a really good thing when you're feeling stuck or before you start a project to assess, what is within my capacity and how can I either grow that or work within that. I will put a link so you can get that below. I'm going to give it to you for free. So definitely check it out and let me know if you love it. All right, we've got the High Priestess in reverse. So the question again, what actions can I take to release this block? It's like getting reconnected to your intuition. You've been so busy crowdsourcing information, checking in with everyone else, and making sure that you're doing the right thing. You haven't actually identified, well, what's my thing? So have a conversation with your intuition, have a conversation with your higher self, get on speed dial with your divine team, and see where it takes you. We've also got the Page of Cups in reverse. We had the Page of Cups before. Get out of that binary. Get out of that, it's me or them. I have to look after myself to the exclusion of everyone else, or I have to look after everyone else to the exclusion of myself. So this is saying, the action you take is stop operating within that system. I also see in this card, the action you can take is look after yourself, but don't make that be the thing, the focus. It's something that you should always be doing. So how can you consistently, reliably look after yourself? We've got the 7 of Cups. This is reinforcing taking things off your plate, but this is more future focused. So the other card, what was it? The 8 of Pentacles was like take things off your to-do list at the moment, your projects in the present. This is like your vision board, your dream, the things you're heading towards. I want you to reassess those and I want you to get clear. Because if you're going, I want to go to the moon and I want to have a $1 billion business and I want to be the next Oprah and I want to be financially independent by next year. And you're like, you've got all these goals and I want a Lamborghini and I want a blah, 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 blah. Do you really want all of those things? And that's not to say you can't have what you want, but sometimes we clutter up with all the possible things and it becomes a weight in and of itself. And not only are we trying to get through life now, and you're in that juggling mode, but you're trying to juggle all the weight and the expectations of all the things that you could possibly do in the future. No wonder you're stuck. No wonder you're frozen. No wonder you aren't feeling it. So this is an invitation to declutter that vision board. All right, so we've got the Knight of... All right, I accidentally put these upside down. These ones were right way up. We've got the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Cups. This is action-taking cards for starters. So the Knight of Cups, what actions can I take to release this? Choose one project, the one closest to your heart, and get started. The Knight of Swords. I see this is being decisive. Sometimes you've probably heard of this phrase, decision fatigue. When we are making too many decisions, we actually get fatigued. We run out of juice. We can't make any more decisions. And if you're making 50 million decisions on all this low level, kind of pointless or not very impactful stuff in our lives, when it comes to your life, your career, your finances, your future, you don't have the juice to make those decisions. And no wonder you keep getting stuck and your growth gets stunted. So this Knight of Swords is coming in and he's going, be as decisive as possible. Someone asks you a question, don't think about it for 50 days. Give yourself 5 minutes. Give yourself 5 hours, depending on what it is. But make your decisions as quick as possible. And when you're tapped into your intuition and you're not in people-pleasing mode and you're really listening to yourself and you've decluttered your life and you decluttered your future and you're really aware of who you are, what you want, and where you want to go, making decisions become a lot easier. Is it for me? This is not a moral thing. It is not a right or wrong thing. It is simply, is it for me? Yes, no, or maybe later. But make the decision. Whew. Thank you for joining me today in this week's spread for the 2nd to the 8th of September. Now, this is present for the energy this week, but it generally comes through whenever you find it or over the next couple of weeks. This is not for everyone, but if it's for you, you know it's for you. So let me know what came up and through and what you're going to do about this information. And if you want further support, you can book a tarot reading, you can book a 30-day forecast, you can work with me as a coaching client. I'm a spiritual life coach and I help you reset your life, realign your focus, and get what you deserve and desire. And I wish you all the best with this energy and with what's came up today. If you like the spread I used, you can also get for $5 Australian the book that I've created on this. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.